Hello boys, it's me, Kuliyoshi here. Welcome back to my actually DLC run of the Pokémon Shield game. In the last episode, we supposedly finished off this island, but yeah, there's actually another main quest because it turns out this Kubfu that we have is also a legendary Pokémon. As you say, with this special power anklet, yes, I did do some grinding in the battle tower to get enough items to play through. I was thinking of essentially grinding at some point. Before we do anything else, we need to swap this for something else, as well as try and get some other bone stuff. So, anyways, we're going to give him a specific string. Right, we're gonna do this for now. I'm trying to look for... Actually, no, wait, there is a Rocky helmet. So we'll go ahead and give Kubfu a Rocky helmet, which is just gonna be overall really useful. It's gonna do damage to anybody who tries to damage him. But anyways, this might be a shorter video because we have to go around to certain points and show this Kubfu to a specific character, because until we do that, we can't actually really do anything in terms of getting other stuff. So yeah, I could potentially only do this with 3 of these, but just for fun, I'm going to show off all of these. And no, this time I'm not going to be catching different Pokemon. I've already done that and seen as much stuff as I can, so I'm actually going to be straight up ignoring all of the Pokemon, and this time our entire focus is going to be put on Cubchoo. There is a couple of problems I have to worry about. For example, those Bouffant right there could actually charge at me, and that could potentially make it a little bit more deadly. Yes, I know I could do Dynamax battles, but I don't really need to do any farming to complete this storyline, so that's what I'm going to be focusing on instead. So we can't actually go to any of the spots that have the main characters initially. Instead, we have to go to spots that have exclamation points on them. That are points that nobody would see normally. Oh, and I might come back to do the Diglett challenge, but I probably won't necessarily go for it unless someone really, really wants me to do that. Okay, here's the first one. Why don't you and Kubfu enjoy the scenery together? This changes depending on whether or not there's fog or not. This one, definitely a beautiful first scene. Okay. So while you only need to do 3 of these to get Kubfu's level up to the max, I did want to make sure I do other stuff. So anyways, that weird tower thing, we're actually going to take that on. But to do that tower thing, like to actually take on that tower, we need to first get Kubfu's friendship level up to be high enough to the point where Master Muster will actually let us challenge those towers. Each one of those is actually a 5-fight dungeon. And yeah, it's really cool. Now, there's not really a good skip for any of these, so we're kind of just going around and just avoiding Pokemon as they appear. Right. But anyways, before we do anything else, there's the other tower, by the way. That's a completely different tower. We're not going to be doing that today. You can only pick one of the towers. I've already decided which one mine is. I'll kind of show you a little bit later. And here's the second scene. The game does have a couple of hints on how to do this. There is an action point on each of these. This is a good view from the upward point, so this one's really good. There's one of these, by the way, that I'm gonna come to probably next, which is not really that good at all, actually. You'll probably see it later. But to do that, we have to once again make a return to the leftward area in the upward section. So that means that cave where we went through to get the back tubes, we have to go through it again. So yeah. This is actually the first one we discovered by just walking around randomly. Now, I'm still kind of blind for the other DLC. Now, this one I don't get. There's a fog. You can't really see anything half the time, and it's really just a desert. It actually doesn't look... I can understand some people would like that, but I personally think that does not look good. Yes, Kung Fu has some different words for that. Okay, now the final setup will be the... lens. I've found a couple of Diglets, so let's... Oh. I thought this was the Diglet guy. Okay, so I should have known that the Diglet is only a specific point anyway. Oh well. Nearly got the randomized encounter there. When the exclamation point pops up with nothing, if you stay on that for too long, you get a random encounter instead of a set encounter. Okay, here's the last one. This cave, in my opinion, is definitely a lot better than the desert. Just because of the way it's shaped. Your Kung Fu are now the best of friends. Each one of these raises this friendship level by a really high amount, by the way, which is how the game intends you to raise them. Yes, the thing shows you that you should probably go to the up, but I believe Mustard's actually still in his dojo. Best I check. Yeah, he is here. Good, good. You two are just the best of friends now, aren't you? Fu's become confident. How wonderful. I dare say I think you're both ready. Follow me, you two. So for doing all that, we get a little bit of a cutscene. Okay. Ooh, I guess this is as good a spot of any. Now, Yoshi and Kung-Fu, you want to go a little stronger, there are special training grounds just for Kung-Fu. Prepare yourselves for the Tower of the Two Fists. Blue Tower is the Tower of Waters. Red Tower is the Tower of Darkness. Choose wisely, as you'll only be able to climb one of the towers. Kung-Fu's fighting style will change depending on the tower you choose, and the type it gets will change as well. Think carefully. Each tower is 5 stories tall, and each tower is tough for you. Make sure you level up properly before you try to climb up. Might be able to find a shortcut if you can bike across the river. Okay. And yes, this quest I'm about to do here is one reason why I mentioned this to no longer be a part of the sub-only challenge, because in order to do the sub-only challenge, it is actually possible, but I would have to release this legendary Pokemon, which I'm not a fan of doing. And then I'd have to do some other stuff. It was just ridiculous. I don't have the setup, so I have to switch and then run, which is a bit annoying. Yes, I did kind of leave him in there because I wanted to make sure that I was setting up the thing properly. I don't know. In case you're wondering, normally how you're supposed to do this part immediately after that, is you're supposed to, train Cubfu quite a bit, which I had to do. I did that to, like, level 30-ish, level 32, actually. And then you have to, immediately after doing that, you have to beat a series of trainers to get to that. And, of course, you have to beat the storyline before that to even access this. And the part I mentioned where you have to become big friends with Chubchu, who... This is what is normally required to challenge the towers, but if you release him, yeah, you could just kind of skip all that. It's actually kind of interesting. I'm pretty sure there's quite a few videos on it. But today we are going to be taking on the Tower of Waters. The first one we saw from before, and the one we are going to be attempting. I'm gonna save, but I'm not gonna save necessarily at the top of the tower, so... Hey, Hilyoshi, Master has already sent word. This is Tower of Waters. It's a special trade that only Cubfu can use. If you want to climb a tower, please make Cubfu the only Pokemon on your team. Well, there's an easy way to fix that. All you have to do is... press the R button, and that brings up a hidden factor thing, or whatever. Well, actually, I think I already told you about this earlier, where you can just straight up put your team in a box, like this. So, we're gonna use that to put all of the Pokemon in, and now Cubfu's the only Pokemon in our party. Now, if we had less people, we wouldn't have to do this at all. We could just have Cubfu only on our team for a little bit, but because of a couple of reasons, I'm gonna do some hour saving, and then we're gonna go in. If you raise Cubfu to at least 70... Ooh. Keep in mind, the actual gameplay of this changes based off of whether or not you've gotten enough strength to go up here or not. This is endgame, so I actually have another spot, but thankfully I have a way to do around that. So here's how we're going to get around it. Because I did not like doing other setups or other things or other setups, here's what I did. I kind of went off, I got some extra experience candies, I got other experience candies from other stuff, and I'll actually show you right here after I use this. No, Diamond Punch tends to miss a lot. Okay, so we're gonna very quickly level him up, using all of our experience. Okay, that could be useful. I'm not sure what I want to get rid of. These are all really good moves. I actually set up Cubfu to be a little bit balanced this time around. Okay, that is too tempting to not take. So, I'm gonna keep Iron Head and replace Ice Punch for this because it's probably a greedy play here, but it is better. Nah, that one could potentially break, so I'm not going to do that one, unfortunately. Okay, we aren't going to actually listen to what he says. We're probably going to stay at a lower level because there's not really a good way to get around this, but I'll kind of show you how I dealt with some of this. So, you know this Kubfu with his special thing or whatever? Well, he's not actually normal at all. I'll show you. Yeah, I actually spent a lot of time EV training him. I think this is the first time I've done this on the Pokemon, and also raised their Dynamax level. And yeah, he's actually fully EV trained in attack and speed, to be precise. So that means he will get more attack and speed than usual whenever he levels up. And that small little effect is going to definitely come into play in this because that makes our that much better. That being said, we still probably will have to use certain strategies to survive, so I'll give it a test attempt at first. Now, I do have Ice Punch that I can relearn if I need to, but right now I feel like just going for other stuff. Now, thankfully, it's not actually that terribly annoying. It's just hard to a point where it's kind of annoying at first. Alright. And these will always give one level. So that will set me to level 60, and that's actually probably the highest I can go with this strategy. So for fun, we will kind of keep it at the same strategy. And yes, the level does change based off of your other stuff. If you do this tower as early as possible, it'll only require level 30, which is not as bad, but okay. Yes. Once you choose one tower, you cannot go out. Such is the great cycle water. It'll saw you whole. So now we have to face multiple trainers to actually get to the top. Now, they're all low because they're intended to be done at a higher level. But they're still sort of, you know. Kubfu is looking at me with intense determination, is it? Okay. I don't know what to expect from this, so I'm kind of just going to go in attacking every turn. Like I always do. And just hope that I get lucky. I did give him a lot of speed, so hopefully he should just outspeed and kill everything. But if something doesn't work, I don't know. Okay, so that first fight could potentially be annoying with confusion. I've been swallowed by your whole great strength. Impressive. You can now proceed to the second floor. Because this is a dungeon, we are going to heal after every single attempt. And no, I'm not going for the regular strategy of maybe using a berry could be useful. Instead, I am using some heal stuff. If it gets really desperate, I could just put a focus slash on and kill the final part that way with a close combat, but it really does depend on what we could potentially do. And yeah. I'm just saying right now, this is not likely to work, but we'll try. We do have a focus sash in case... Oh, wait, what am I doing? I'm just, like, stuck for, like, a minute. I was about to say, I need to heal. I don't know. The strategy that gets used as a speedrun is actually even more interesting, I've found. It's actually a reversal strategy, normally. We can't really do that here. In a round cup, water becomes round. In a square teapot, it becomes square. Water is adaptable, changing form to match the opponent. Prepare to drown in its power. How about you? So, this is the part that I mentioned where it balances out. Each of these opponents actually only has one Pokemon. So it's not actually that bad. It's just annoying because of the way that we're going to do. I'm going to just use a combo on these where I use Brick Bait to lower their health to check if they don't kill me. Assuming they don't kill me right away. They shouldn't because I trained as hard as I could, so I should be close to their level enough to where it'll barely matter enough. And then we'll use close combat on them to try and finish him. And for the final fight, I don't know what else to do but Aerial Ace. Yes, I do have Aerial Ace. That'll come in handy for the final fight. Because you'll see. You'll see why in a minute. But otherwise, I'm just going to heal after each fight using a Hyper Potion. And I basically have to survive a couple of fights until the end. They definitely did not take it as an easy tower. They made it really tricky. It does have a save before each of these auto ones, so I could just take the auto save. Do you have my willpower to withstand the relentless torrent of my rangers? I definitely think so. I think you're just a weakling. Now, again, their Pokemon aren't evolved because they expect you to do this a lot earlier, but because I'm later, they happen to be a little bit a higher level. It doesn't actually really change anything. I forgot, is Meryl a fairy type? We're about to find out. Meryl becomes a fairy type in one of the other generations, and I was just wondering what it was. Okay, so that means I think my Iron Head might be my best move here. Fairy has some really weird resist. Okay, that works. I'll just Iron Head to victory, I guess. Oh, wow, okay. The Rocky Helmet killed him. So that's one reason why I want the Rocky Helmet, is any physical move used against me just deals them damage right back, so they will automatically do stuff. Alright. Impressive. You can now proceed to the 4-4. I actually don't even need to safety save. The game does it for me at the end. It says now saving. It's actually auto. But I do a manual save in case I do want to go back from the beginning. Alright. Water will freeze and harden when cold or evaporate. Hold, or evaporate and fly through the sky when hot. Water changes its form and even its name on a whim. Can you contain it? I wonder. Probably. And yes, each of these players only has one Pokemon. Is this also a fairy type? This part I've not figured out. There's no reason to use Close Combat immediately. Because if it ends up resisting, then it's crazy. Ooh! So because I went to the extra spot or whatever, in terms of my friendship level, it's possible to randomly evade moves like that. So yeah, that just happened. Poliwhirl's move didn't even miss me. I straight up dodged it. You gain a dodge chance when your friendship level is that high. So I guess that is a benefit to getting 4. Your strength does not yield to cold or heat. Indeed. Alright. Impressive. You can now proceed to the top 4. He is waiting for you there. That's all he says? Okay. This one I'm gonna just go for an Aerial Ace and hope for the best. That's all I can hope for. So, yep. Big surprise. Not really, actually. Yeah. Mustard's back. Mustard is back. He is the final boss of this area. There you are. I figured you'd choose the Tower of Waters, so I decided to wait for you here. Hey Yoshi, Cubfu, you've both done well to get it this far. Your final opponent is little of me. It's been a while since the last time I battled like this, but I think you can handle it. A stream too clear is avoided by fish Pokemon. We all need some darkness in ourselves. Let me be the one to teach you the final lesson on the essence of water. So yeah, we get this really crazy reveal. Dojo Master Mustard. And we get to see his crazy Cub Fu, which we're probably not going to see for long because we're going to go in for an attack right away. I need to get serious if I am to take you on. Hone your senses now and let this battle sharpen you. Show me how you can grow. Okay. So, because he's already fighting, we're just gonna go for Aerial Ace and just try and hope for the best. Ooh, it's not enough. Watch closely, Kuliyoshi. This is what Cub Fu's just are truly capable of. Oh, just barely survived it. And yes, for the first fun part, I'm just gonna try and attack and see if that works, and it actually did. I knew that speed would come in handy. So, we were at sort of a little disadvantage. Not really that much of a problem. Just spam Aerial Ace twice, that's all there is to it. You young folk go so fast. It never ceases to amaze me. Alright, and that's the final true ending of this area. What a team. Impressive, most impressive. It could have probably become a lot more powerful if I raised it earlier on in the game, but it was much harder to get that chaining up. I knew you were worthy of my chest, Tsuyoshi. You've done well, very well indeed, in raising this Cub Fu to this level of strength. Leon was once my best student a long time ago. He too attempted his trial, but he never made it to Ever Tower. He got lost along the way. Ha! Now it's finally time for Cub Fu to evolve. Go and show Cub Fu the Scroll of Waters. Cub Fu is ready now. So, yes, this odd thing is actually an evolution stuff. So, yeah, this legendary actually has an evolution stone. Of course, we have to do it because we can't go on to the other tower. That'd just be silly. So we show that, trigger a cutscene, and yes, that whole thing triggers an evolution for Cub Fu. I don't believe this could be skipped at all. You can't cancel it. He just straight up evolves into Urshifu. And it changes type depending on what you picked. Because we picked the Water Tower, it has now become a fighting and water type. This form of Urshifu is a strong believer in defeating blows by raining many blows down on them. Its strikes are non-stop, flowing like a river. And now we'll get bonus moves based off of that. First is his iconic move, Surging Strikes, which is probably going to replace our Ice Punch for some time. This attacks 3 times with very low, but it is a different type, and it always results in a critical hit. That can definitely come in handy. I may have to get rid of Aerial Ace for one of these. Because I definitely wanted to have its iconic move. I might show you. Behold, before you stands Urshifu, sure to be unyielding armor that'll shatter any blade turned against it. And it has mastered the style of water. Huh, you certainly haven't you? And to think not too long ago you would have run and hid behind me the moment you got scared. Indeed, no matter I get, witnessing someone grow always brings joy to my heart. Yoshi, Urshifu, thank you both for a bomb my heart. Oh, and I almost forgot. I give this to anyone who has faced me when I was taking the battle seriously. Alright, so now we have his read card. Now then, let's head back to the dojo. Much talent and strength, perhaps the time has come. So that is actually the ending of the storyline this time. There's nothing else to say. But I can go here if I want to. Oh, hey, welcome back, Kiliyoshi. Looks like you've been hard work keeping up your training here at the dojo. Hop, what are you doing here? Surprised and nicely done, Kiliyoshi. That was the reaction I was hoping on. I'm here on the island to research more about the Dynamax phenomenon. So I hear that you two are friends. How delightful. Hoppykins was just asking my permission to camp out on the Isle of Arbor. It's so fun and mucky about in the mud. I was telling him he should stay here at the dojo. I mean, it's a little easier than camping out for 1 mile, but wouldn't I be in the way? Everyone's here to welcome. We're out there welcome at the Master Dojo. Don't be shy, my boy. Because we're practically family already. You're the little brother of our Rion, after all. That's true. We did train here when we were both kids. Then, Master Esther, you just say I'm. You don't regret it because I'm staying. Whoa, the more the merrier. I'm pleased to punch in a gold-plated punch bowl. Which reminds me, Kiliyoshi, I've got something I mean to tell you about Kuvfu, or really its evolution, Urshifu. The truth is the lovable rascal is capable of Gigamaxing too, but it's a bit tricky since I really can't stand the chase of Max Sashus. So Max Soup is off the menu, unless you can make it more appealing to it. It's a certain something you can find on the Isle of Armor that'll make even Urshifu grab up a bowl of Max Soup. That certain something is... What? Certainly is actually... NCR is killing me. I've forgotten what it is. Are you kidding me? No. You're even more fun to tease than my brother ever was. The certain something I was thinking of is sure to make Soup more palatable to Urshifu, and it has something to do with another Pokemon. You two figure out what it is. Give it a good think together. You're on your own, killers. The world is your oyster, so get cracking. Is this how your training usually goes? I really got no Rapidash in this race, but I'm pretty curious about that certain something. Something about Urshifu in a book once too. It's the Mushu Pokemon, right? It said it lives in the mountains in some far-off region. Does it really? Huh, you didn't know? Don't you have one, Kiliyoshi? Well, yeah, I think I read that Urshifu is absolutely mad for some kind of sticky honey. Kiliyoshi. It's made from the nectar of flowers of plants, right? So maybe we need nectar made by Pokemon that look like flowers and plants. And if we're looking for those kinds of Pokemon, I reckon there might be lots in the forest. I'll be able to look into Dynamaxing along the way, so count me in for exploration. There's a forest path in that big shed up. Bet I could beat you there. Yeah, there's still kind of a cutscene that we can do in a couple of our stuff, but as far as we know, the main storyline is done. The only other thing I'm coming back here for is actually to combine some stuff here. So we got apricorns from some of the last trees we did. I'm going to combine one of each in a specific spot. And that'll give us a rare item like the game mentioned. So we're going to do this 2 times. And we attained a timer ball as our first rare Pokeball. A somewhat different ball that makes aggressively more effective. And yes, we can repeat it to do other stuff. Make sure I don't accidentally set the wrong one on there, because that'll make things a little bit bad. So we'll try this new combination here. Okay, only one rare one, but the timer ball is one thing that I actually did want, so I'm not too worried. Huh, Okay. So he just told me how to make a certain recipe. But right now, I'm not interested in that. I'm actually interested in, well, first I need to bring my team back because, gosh dang it, I need my team here if I want to survive. I'll probably use Urshifu for the next video or two because there's still one more DLC to go. Actually, I'm not sure if we'll be able to bring Pikachu back because of that, but, oh well. As cute as Pikachu is, we'll probably have to replace him the next time we get a legendary, because assuming we get a legendary on the second spot, feeds our interchange. The way it just talked about stuff, that makes me think that, maybe I'm not as ready to do stuff yet with the specific area. And yes, there are still more side quests for some reason, but I'm not willing to do that right now. Because going through some of that did kind of tire me out a bit, so we're going to actually quickly chill. Go back to the Edgehurst Station again. We'll stay outside it, rather. Take a sec, because why not? Even though our other Pokemon got healed to full. Yes. Yes. And yes, by the way, the storyline is a little bit different. Okay, so with that in mind, I'm going to save the game. This is because in our next video, I want to actually go through the other storyline now. So we're going to see you in the next video where we're going to be attempting the second half of the DLC in this game because I figure I have to show that off. Until then, leave a like if you guys enjoy, comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!